For me, it's the impact that people have on everything, whether it's on the relationship side, whether it's work side, because you get motivated by people, you get demotivated by people. So it's always important to have positive people around you. My name is Sampada Agri. I'm an investment associate at Sampada Private Equity, and I'm also a portfolio analyst for the agriculture sector of the fund. I was born in Paul Pietersburg, known as Edumbe, and then there my grandfather and my father had cattle, so I do have a bit of experience and exposure to the cattle and the farming side of things. And then I went to school there in primary, and then from there, from my high school, I went to Eshowe High School. From there, for my degree, I went to University of Pretoria. So Sampada is a private equity firm, and our focus is leisure and tourism, as well as your agriculture side as well. Initially, Levenhof was an agricultural farm, so they had your peaches, they had grapes, and they also had a bit of lucerne. And then after that, they decided to change and focus on your leisure side. So that's when they built the lodge. Post the lodge, then they also had the game as well. So to accommodate everyone who's actually coming for leisure to be able to do the drive. And then post that, they also had the hunting, which mostly to accommodate the foreign tourists, because majority of the foreign tourists come here for hunting. So they need a bit of relaxing from the concrete jungle and just coming to Africa to enjoy the hunting and sightseeing, bird viewing, as well as hiking. So that's the background of Levenhof. Post us acquiring the asset, we decided to go back to agriculture, because what we're seeing is that we want to add more in terms of creation of jobs, providing food for the nation, as well as just making it more profitable and adding value for our investors at the end of the day.
My name is Wayne Suku. I'm the farm manager for Sampada Agri in Morimole, Limpopo. I'm involved mostly from day-to-day operations on all agricultural events. Strawberry farming started for me 9 years ago. We had a dream set, we had a mindset which was focused. In combination with Sampada Agri, we made it happen. Our berries are sweeter than normal. We like that, and it really gives a boost in your vitamins that goes with it. What we do is we start off with genetics that is brought up in a greenhouse, and once we receive them, we do receive them in a seedling tray, and that makes it quicker to plant, as well as getting more established plants than your traditional bear runner plants. So once we start introducing them into our greenhouses, we give them what we call as a vegetative state, where we get the factory going for the sugars, that's our leaves. So we start growing our leaf canopies to a size of 60 to 70%, whereas we then switch to a generative mode, which then sets our flowers in very important stage for bees activities, for pollination. There's two different ways of picking also. The European standard is by popping it off. So that takes off your whole snaplet, so you can actually go and see where your strawberries is coming from. And then your natural or your old-fashioned way is snapping it off with a bit of a stem on it. So that's all client-based again. We like to pop them. It gives an all-natural look at it. We pick it at the right time. You know you've got a nice cultivar. If you can pick an actual green strawberry and you can bite it and taste it and you've got flavor, you know you've got a good cultivar. Well, I'm just going to pick one here, and it's going to be green. It's not going to be as tasty as a red one, but you've got sugar in there. You've got sugar content in there, and you've got vitamins. That's a green strawberry.
So we started with 1 hectare in 2018, and then now in 2019 we added another hectare, which we have on phase 2, which we added 3.5 hectares, which we've just completed now.
Our current production per season is about 50 tons per hectare. That's your first class fruit, and then also we are busy with secondary products for the strawberries, including jam, liqueurs, everything that goes with it. We're just going to add on.
And then we've also started the cattle farming. We've been doing cattle farming now for, call it, 5 months. We've partnered up with Johan, who has the experience and is close by to the farm. So we also need those skills. I mean, because we are more on the portfolio side of the farming and analysis side. So he's more on the operational side and he's more hands-on.
We make sure that the cattle that we are using is beef cattle. Those type of animals produce very well in a feedlot. So this is also the type of female animals that we keep here at Sampada Agri on Leonhof, where we then produce strong beef calves with mothers that produce good enough milk to wean the calf, take him away from the mother at 6 or 7 months, and then prepare him for the feedlot and the red meat market. Cattle feedlot, it is quite a science. Not only a science, it's also a very competitive market. The contents of a balanced feedlot diet consist mainly of an energy source, and in this case, we are making use of hominy chop, which looks like this. This mix can make up anything from between 50 and 70% in your feedlot mix. Sometimes when it's difficult, always the market is not really steady to find hominy chop, we also use yellow maize, grinded yellow maize as a substitute. When both are available, we use both. The golden rule is to try to achieve maximum growth. To achieve that, you need to provide a lot of carbohydrates or energy in the diet. We sometimes use molasses syrup together with water to make sure that we bring a high water content or moist content into the feedlot mix as well. And then this is going out. We feed twice a day. We feed in the morning about 40% of the ration, and then in the afternoons about 60% of the ration. If you have a cow that weighs 500 kilogram, she must eat at least 15 kilogram per day to maintain her weight and to quite frankly stay alive. The golden rule is to try to achieve maximum growth, muscle development in the body, and then towards the tail end of the 90 to 120 days that the calf spent in the feedlot is then to add that little bit of fat, because most people like a little bit of fat on the T-bone or the rump steak when they eat it. We can confidently say that these are healthy meat, that this is healthy animals, and that these animals were never been exposed to a lot of these dangerous supplements that are mixed into the feeding. So to spend 25 or 35 rand a day on an animal, you need what we call feed meat conversion. You want that animal, for every 5 kilogram of feed that he takes in, that he produces for you 1 kilogram of meat. Otherwise, you simply price yourself out of the market, and you can't be competitive.
The highest cost is actually feeding the cattle. So now what we're going to do, we're going to grow maize, which we're going to use to feed the cattle. So by that, you're reducing the cost significantly and increasing your profits. Currently, we have 160 cattle, and our aim is to grow the herd to 300. We'll be able to feed them, and then you can have two options. Then you can sell some to the auctioneers, and then you can take some directly to the abattoir, slaughter them, debone them, and then package them. Once you package them, you'll be able to sell it even more per kilogram compared to what you're selling it at an auctioneer. So by doing that, it actually helps even during tough economic times. You don't have to sell to the auctioneers. You can actually keep back some of those cattle. And then once the economy starts to pick up again, then you are able to sell either at the auctioneers or you process them yourself and realize more margins. Because we want to make sure that the community around is able to actually benefit. We feed the families, they're getting salaries, and it's a nice story to tell in terms of contributing to the community, and especially in the rural areas where there's a lot of poverty. So we fighting poverty, we adding value in terms of adding food security for the people. As you know, South Africa actually consume a lot of meat. So that's where we are actually heading. So what sets Levenhof apart from its competitors? So firstly, we've got a vast amount of water, which is very important for farming. And then Levenhof, as I've said, that it's more on the agritourism, so people can come for leisure as well as be able to form part of strawberry picking as well as making of jam. We've got hiking, we've got bicycle trails, birds viewing. There's quite a lot of activities that you can enjoy.
We have taken a principled decision that the beef that we are going to produce in this farm is going to be good, natural, healthy, red meat. There's going to be no antibiotics or growth stimulants or hormones injected into that meat.
Getting a phone call from your clients and telling you afterwards, where did you get these? Why are they so sweet? How do you do it? And just thanking you for that. We get it offered, so it just makes you proud. It just makes you proud of what you're doing.
We're looking in terms of growing the strawberry farm to call it 12.7 hectares by mid-2021, which then can just give you an indication on how much we're going to be contributing to the community around the area. Currently, we're employing 40 people. By 2021, we're going to be employing more than 100 people.
We do explanation on our biologicals, and people learn and they really enjoy the experience of going from A to the end product and actually personalizing it for themselves.
What I hope people will take out of Levenhof when they come to visit is to actually understand and see the impact of the agriculture to the economy, and to also know where their food comes from and the value that it actually adds in terms of feeding the nation. Not only feeding the nation, but also knowing where your food comes from, organic food especially, and just enjoying being part of agriculture, not always shying away, because at the end of the day you need to get fed and you need to know where your food comes from. What we've accomplished here, it's really something extraordinary, because right now we've started a strawberry farm as well as cattle farming, doing watermelons. If you would have told someone this, they wouldn't have believed. But if you had the right and the positive people around you, they will actually back you up and work with you. So people are very important.